Hello, hello, and happy Sunday. How are you guys? Well, I know I'm a day late. I've been doing this series on Saturday afternoons, but let's be real. I knew I had to do all of the hair and makeup today because we have a birthday party for the birthday boy David, and I wasn't doing it yesterday, so I was not prepared to come on and do a live on my regular page yet, without hair and makeup. So we're just a little bit late, a little day late, but hey Leonard, how are you today? It is a gorgeous day outside. It's 26 degrees right now. The sun is shining. I kind of wish I had gotten out a little bit today because it's not as cold as it was. And so I got my steps in on the treadmill, but kind of cooped up in the house. But okay, let's get to it. Let's talk about achieving your goals. So hopefully you guys have been watching this series because it's just progressing on. And so hopefully you've done some of the homework from the other ones. But we talked about how do you make and achieve your goals, not just set a goal, but actually achieve it. And we discussed how you would want them to be SMART goals. Which is an acronym: specific, measurable, achievable, realistic, and time-bound. And hopefully you did your brain dump and just kind of got it all out there, whether they were the SMART goals or not. Just like what are your goals for either this month or 2019, whatever it is. So, all right, let's proceed. Let's keep going. Like I said, it's the third one. So let's talk about why. Why do you want to set this goal? How will it make your life better? Whether it be a fitness goal or a business goal or whatever kind of goal it is. Like why. We talked about last week how your whys need to be huge. They need to be big enough that it makes you do it. It's not just this would be nice. No, if you have a big enough why, you're going to go after it and you're going to work really hard. And then number 2, who's going to help you stay on track? And how are they going to hold you accountable? So, who's that friend who's going to be 100% honest with you? I know exactly who mine is. And say, hey, you said you wanted to lose 5 pounds. Why are you shoving that piece of cake into your mouth? Or you said you wanted to pay this credit card off, but you're asking me to lunch again for the, umpteenth time or whatever, and you're supposed to be saving your money. So who is that friend who's going to be 100% honest with you, whether it's hurtful or not? I was watching a thing last night, I don't know, it was on the news or something, and it was Oprah Winfrey and Gail. And I think most everybody knows who Oprah and Gail are. And they were joking. They were talking about who's your Gail. Like Gail will flat out tell her whether she wants to hear it or not. And Oprah will tell Gail, no, that looks horrible on you. Or Gail was saying, she would just tell her, no, take that off. That looks disgusting. I don't care what everybody else has been telling you because they're just kissing your ass. It looks horrible. So who's your Gail? We all need that friend that kind of reins us in and says, hey, wait a minute, this is not according to you or what goals you have set for yourself. So make sure you've got that friend who's going to hold you accountable. What tools do you need to achieve your goals? So obviously if they're weight loss goals, like what tools do you need? Do you need a treadmill in your home? Thank goodness for people, especially if you live in a climate like I do. I know there's people here, don't think that, in Wyoming, no one goes outside and either walks or runs. People laugh at me. I go outside on my breaks as much as I can, but I have not been going out. It is extremely cold. And I've even gotten a couple of emails at work and they're like, hey, are you going to go out on your break? And, and if you are, bundle up. And I'm like, no, I'm not that crazy. Oh, well, so-and-so, I see him go out every single day. One of them is Judge Prokos. And I'm like, yeah. And he lived in Michigan a whole lot longer than I did. He's way tougher than I am. Or Bonnie's over here talking about how she's, running in this weather. You guys are badasses, and I'm not at that level. So what tools do I need in order to hit my 2019 miles in 2019? Clearly, I need something I can be doing inside the home on these months because I don't like going outside. I don't like the cold. So I'm obviously hitting a lot of miles right now on the treadmill. Well, almost all the miles. I'm hoping that come summertime, I love to hike and I love to walk and I love to take the dog out. That I'm going to be able to get ahead or whatever. But again, we talked about this time bound, time and realistic. I cannot say that I'm going to be behind all the way through till, we live in Wyoming. What is it, like June? It finally really warms up. So I'm going to be completely behind all the way then, and then I'm going to get caught up. No, realistic and time bound. I know how many miles I need per month, and I better be on it, or else it's not going to happen. So what tools do you need? If it's a money goal, are you at least using a budget? What tools do you need in order to get to that goal that you set yourself? Okay, next, what 3 actionable steps can I take to achieve my goal? So actionable. So, one of my goals, I started this last year, was to get out more, to become more social. I know it seems crazy. I love people. I have, some very, very deep friendships. But because I've raised my girls for the last 21 years, I wanted to be mom. And I wanted to be that very, very, I can't even think of the word. I wanted to be that mom that was there. I wanted to be doing everything. I didn't want to miss anything. So I made that decision myself. And I have a lot of friends who did the exact same thing. So we would get together maybe on a lunch hour or something small, or, whether it be dance, us dance moms obviously would sit together, the gymnastics moms, and talk. But I kind of, gave up everything about who I was in my social. So last year I made a goal to actually get out more, essentially. And like I said, I have this whole group of friends. We're all kind of doing the same thing. So one of the things is we created a game night. And I'm about to host it this next week. It's going to get people, into my home. It's going to get me talking with some new relationships, because a couple of these people I didn't know. It was another friend of mine and I who created it together. So, I'm getting some new friendships out of that. So what actionable steps? It wasn't just, oh, hey, this is great, I need to do this. What am I actually going to do? We actually created a group and put it out there about, hey, let's do this. And we're doing it. It's come to fruition. So what actionable steps can you do? Let's go back to that paying off that credit card. What was it? A $2,000 credit card, I think, in 4 months, if you guys have been remembering on these things. What actionable steps can you take? Yes, you can cut that check and you can mail it, but a real easy way would be having it, something directly coming out of your bank account, or out of your paycheck, either way. I'm in payroll, so I'm always thinking of, you can set up a direct deposit that goes directly to this bank where you have your auto loan or your credit card or whatever. What actionable steps can you do so that you make it easier on yourself, so that you actually follow through? So be thinking about that. And then break it down. We've talked about this already. Like I said, my 2019 steps in 2019. I can't just say that and then not break it down and go back. And almost every big goal that you have, you set the big goal. What was it? Stephen Covey, begin with the end in mind. I think it was something like that. So you take the big one and then you break it down. Break it down monthly goals, break it down weekly goals, and then if you need to go deeper, break it down, daily goals. It just depends upon the goal. Obviously, the 2019 miles, I've broken it all the way down backwards down to daily. Daily, I need to have 5.53 miles in to average the 2019. So obviously the credit card payment, it's not going to be daily. It really depends upon when you get paid. If it, like I get paid on my regular job just once a month, so it'd have to be, that breaking it down to, $500 a month. If you got paid bi-weekly or weekly, or with my, my side gig, I get paid daily. So it just depends, however you get paid and where you're going to get that money from. But break it down, and break it down as small as you need it to be in order to be realistic again. Okay. Let's see. Say you wanted to save X amount of dollars. I want to save $1,000 within a couple, or let's say 3 or 4 months to go on a trip or something. So obviously some actionable steps there would have been not eating out as much. If you're in a something like me, the daily pay, at least a certain amount of that every single month or whatever, you've got to set it aside. Just think about whatever. I know it's hard for me to teach this without knowing like what your goals are. If I knew what your goals are, then you can you can really sit down and say, okay, it's this $2,000 credit card, or it's, losing 10 pounds. Okay, say you want to lose 10 pounds. What are you doing though? Have you set yourself up to fail or to achieve these goals? Are you, did you get rid of all the crap that's in your house? Or are you trying to just say, oh no, I've got the willpower to not eat it? Trust me, it's a whole lot easier if you just don't even have to look at it versus trying to say you're tough enough to not go eat it. But set yourself up, have those good snacks in the house that if you're hungry or whatever, you're going to go get to when you open up that fridge. It's not all the crap that's in there. It's the carrots and the, whatever, the protein stuff, that's in your fridge. Set yourself up. Have you, there's like gazillion workout programs on YouTube or Instagram that are free. Have you looked into that? Have you found what you like? Are you a cardio person? Do you like to lift weights? What is it? But set yourself up to succeed, not to fail. Are you drinking enough water if you're doing the weight loss? Number one is water. In addition to eating right, but you definitely want to make sure you're having your water, you're moving more, you're taking the correct supplements, whatever it is, make sure you are setting yourself up to succeed, not to fail. Okay. And then reward. Okay. So this one I'm talking to myself. You have to reward yourself. And this is where I always fall. I may hit the goal and I may have written down what I'm going to reward myself with. And for one reason or another, usually I talk myself out of it, or no, I don't want to spend the money on it. But it needs to be something along the lines of whatever your goal was. So obviously, if your goal was to lose 10 pounds, don't then go reward yourself with a cake. You know what I'm saying? Like I saw this years and years ago about I don't know if it's we as Americans, whatever, but everything is centered around food. And trust me, the fries, everything is centered around food. So it's like, oh, you got 100 on your report card or whatever. Let's go for ice cream. So if your goal, especially if your goal has something to do with weight loss, do not make it about food. Make it, you're going to go buy a new pair of jeans in that, 2-3 sizes smaller. Whatever it was that, you hit that goal. If it was a monetary goal, do not say you're going to go shop for something. Say, oh, I had a good one. I cannot remember what it was. If it was monetary. But yeah, don't go against yourself. If you had that money goal, if you were going to pay off that credit card, don't go shopping. Keep it something in that line, or something minimal, like I'm gonna go have lunch with my friend. Sorry, I had a really good example on that one and I completely just spaced it. I didn't have it written down. Excuse me, I didn't have that written down. But the two keys on, I guess, today's live would be the support system and the rewards. You've got to have that support system. You've got to have that friend who will hold you accountable. And you need to have a conversation up front where you say, hey, this is my goal. I want to lose 10 pounds. I need you to help me. And I need you to tell me, no sometimes, or tell me no when I'm getting off track, or tell me, hey, don't forget what that goal was, so that when someone at work says, I'm going for ice cream, do you want some? Or you're walking past the candy dish and they see you, not just popping one, but maybe popping 2 or 3, that friend has already been given the go, or whatever you want to say, to tell you, hey girlfriend, I know you want to lose 10 pounds, and that may just look like one little piece of candy, but I know it's what it's going to do, and it's counteractive. And anyway, don't do it. But you've got to have that conversation, and hopefully you have a friend like that. Like I said, I've got a friend, I don't really need to have that conversation with her. If I tell her that I'm going after this goal, she's going to tell me, Check, what do you mean you were sleeping in this morning? Get up and get your butt on the treadmill. I know how busy you're going to be this week. Get those steps in, right? So I hope you all have that friend. And then, like I said, the one I really struggle with is don't forget to reward yourself, but make it a reward that ties back to what you worked so hard to do. So anyway, I hope you guys are enjoying these lives. I've got a couple more that I'm working on, if you do, again, please feel free to share this out there. Drop me the word value if you're enjoying them. And if you are enjoying it kind of being in like a series, I've got several other lives I've got planned. It's just always trying to find the time to throw things in without bombarding you guys. And I don't want you thinking like, oh my gosh, here she is again. So anyway, I hope you're having a fantastic weekend. I am going to go celebrate my sweet husband's, I don't know if he wants me to put it out there, but next year's a big one. Let's just say it that way. So we're going to go celebrate him and celebrate his birthday. My daughter did make a sweet, it smells delicious cake. So I did get all my steps in so that I am going to enjoy a small piece of the cake that she has worked so hard to make. So I hope you guys are having a great weekend, and we're going to conquer next week. All right, you guys take care.